All right, the recording is rolling. Everybody remember the house rules. Please, unless you are currently presenting, go ahead and mute yourselves. We will try to roll through this as quickly as we can. So if you have questions, please do either drop them in the chat or save them till the end, and we will get to everything as quickly as we can. But there is a lot of information to digest and only an hour to digest it all. So thank you guys for being here. This is your April South Branch All Hands. Cool shot right here from Op Freedom Bridge. This is the famous bridge in Selma, Alabama. Big shout out to that team. You'll hear about the work that they did later on, but this was from the Saturday morning of the op, where the team got up and walked across the bridge before going out there and crushing a full day of work. Nothing kind of more awesome than a chance to combine some TR good work with some really important moments in U.S. history. So really cool to share this with everybody. And I think also a really good segue into kind of the theme of the whole all hands and the work that we're doing right now, which is all about personal growth, organizational growth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So here's our overall agenda. We will drive through just the overview by me, get a current sit rep from Steve, then dive into our geographic area and functional area updates, wrap it up with some announcements and recognition from the boss. So kind of the same bat plan, same bat channel. Let's do this, guys. Here comes April. So Teddy moments, it is spring. Spring is all about growth. There's my baby son growing from 1 month to just hit his 9-month mark, has literally doubled in size, kind of crazy to see. But also it is spring, and so Team Rubicon is growing just like my baby boy. So some kind of key moments of growth to mark for everybody else, and things that will be impacting all of you guys as we strive to improve the systems and processes that we use to get shit done. A big one is going to be the agency executive delegation. So for all of you guys who have been around the organization for the last couple of years, you probably know Jim Flory and I as operation improvers. Also, of course, TJ and crew over at the NOC can approve operations. But one of the big shifts and one of the ways that we advertised the shift from the territories into the consolidated branch was the ability to downscale and execute operational approval at a lower level. So we are beginning the training and rollout plan of the delegated operational approval. We're going to be starting with our 2 operations managers. So Jim Lehman and Amanda Walmsley will be first down the pipe for that. We're hoping to get them kind of spun up and pushed through by summer with the goal of getting all 7 of our operations associates by the end of year. Now, if you were counting on your fingers and toes and you heard 7 operations associates, that is our next point of math, and I will hand it over to Miss Amanda Walmsley.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I am super excited to announce that our new South Texas Operations Associate is Elizabeth Saunders. Elizabeth joins us as a seasoned gray shirt and volunteer leader. She was a territory branch level planning coordinator, powerhouse in Oklahoma. She's also a recon, advon, and plan section chief instructor, and also a Clay Hunt Fellow alumni. She charged into the arena to build teams, mentor leaders, and be the voice of friendship, sanity, and empathy at all hours of the night to countless mission planning leaders. So I know many of us have experienced her guidance and help with that. In her new role, she'll be supporting the growth of leadership teams in South Texas and helping with overseeing the planning and execution of response, mitigation, and recovery operations, as well as leadership and gray shirt engagement. Elizabeth's got more skills and tricks than a multi-tool. She was a young, starry-eyed cryptologic technician in the U.S. Navy once upon a time, and now as more recently, a woman of international mystery. She's taught English to students in India. She's launched various startups, and she also was running an accelerator program for global entrepreneurs. So along each step of her journey, she's proven herself as a leader who has patience, skills, and the commitment it takes to fully serve the team. She truly epitomizes the cultural principle of mission first, gray shirts always, and bleeds passion for Team Rubicon and our mission. She's now, as of last week, based out of Houston, Texas, and we're super excited to have her on board. Welcome, Elizabeth. Back to you, Drew.
Thank you, Amanda. Elizabeth, did you want to come off mic and just say anything happy to the team before we keep rolling, or have we caught you flat-footed?
I'm good. Thank you all. I appreciate the wonderful words, Amanda. Thanks.
All right, let's keep rolling. Last growth point, if you haven't been under a rock or in a cave, you have probably heard this news. But big shifts at the top of the organization. The uncomparable founder of our organization, Jake Wood, is finally, after 11 long years, going to be putting down the leadership mantle and handing it to our president and chief operating officer, Art De La Cruz. They will be making that transition at the end of Q2. So heading into Q3, heading into hurricane season, Maverick himself will be leading this team. What does that mean for all of you? Probably not a ton, except maybe you'll see Jake in the field a little bit more often because he's going to be having a little bit more free time on his hand to deploy with us. He will be stepping into a different role as executive chairman of the Team Rubicon board, which means he will be working closely with that group to kind of help further develop and build out the next stages of the organization's financial security and guidance. But Art has been a steady hand at the helm as our president for the last several years now. So he will continue to be guiding us as we drive into hurricane season 2021. So don't expect any significant shifts, but still pretty noteworthy. Send a note of thanks to Jake for his service if you have some time. He has done incredible work as our leader, and send a note welcoming Art De La Cruz to the big chair because he obviously has some significant shoes to fill. I can say that. So those are kind of our growth points as we wrap up our spring overview. All of these are really good things, right? They show that this organization is continuing to grow, continuing to evolve, continuing to shift into the fight. But we still have our standing orders, right? Our standing orders have unchanged. We as a team are still kind of driving together to do our part in the fight against coronavirus, still heavily engaged. The organization just kicked over that 1 millionth vaccination, which is pretty incredible. If you think about how this is something that we weren't doing just 5 months ago, and now we're over that 1 million mark, really kind of doing our part to assist the overall fight against coronavirus. But also that is tied directly into our core mission, the thing that most of you joined the organization to do, the thing that we do in our heart of hearts, which is kick disasters in the teeth. We need to lick coronavirus so that we can get after all these disasters with saws and hammers and tongs. So we stand ready to do that. And then our third bullet that I've added for the month of April heading into May is we are really transitioning full speed, gearing up to get ready for the hurricane fight. It's supposed to be another tough year for us. I know we all felt it last year for sure. And we have a lot of work to do to make ourselves even better, more prepared heading into the next year. So get ready for a lot of updates around that. I know you guys are up for it, and I know that we're going to do some pretty awesome stuff. I am going to pass it over to Steve Fleming to give us the current sit rep.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. What you're going to see is our usual awesome numbers. They keep going up every time we're on here. And so right now, nationwide, as a TR nation, we're almost 12,000 neighbors helping neighbors. So all of you guys that have contributed to that, again, I congratulate you on contributing to some of this awesome effort there. And we're really filling in our corner of the map really nice. Moving over down to COVID operations for 2021, we're going to have 39 operations around the country impacting incredibly vulnerable or communities. When we look at like the Nevada, we've got the mobile vaccine stuff. We look at Navajo Nation that so many of you guys have flown out to and supported in different capacities, to some of these rural places across South Branch, or these major vaccine ops. With all of that effort, like Drew said, we have hit the 1 million mark across the 42 metros. So hats off to all of you guys that have participated in that. Congratulations. Moving on to core operations. It's already started off pretty busy year, especially with Winter Storm Uri, but we are looking at 23 core ops responses before we even get into the meat of our storm seasons. So we've had a little bit of tornado activity. We know that number is going to dramatically spike as we enter hurricane season. So please keep that in the back of your mind. Stay fresh, change your socks, get ready for some more. And the rebuild team putting in some awesome work. So you guys, of course, know we hit the 100th house last year. Now we're looking at 108 have been completed in the greater Houston area. But with the Gulf Coast and how we expanded the rebuild capability on the road into Louisiana, we're looking at 7 completed at this time, with 5 more underway. And the rebuild team is looking at taking it on the road potentially to some other areas. So stand by for some updates on that if that ends up coming to be. And again, they are still looking at opportunities to get local volunteers the opportunity to get involved as they work through what that looks like. And I will update you accordingly. Next slide, please. Next, again, looking at just a little bit of a breakdown. This is for this calendar year. The numbers there breaking down where we stand. They don't have it broken down by branches yet in the system, so everything is still territory, but I wanted to kind of show you how much as a South Branch we are contributing, and it's very impressive right there. The other is I had to actually consolidate it all into one, because honestly it got super long and detailed. But again, congratulations. Remember, you do not have to deploy to make a difference, but we're always looking to get you dispatched on our operations to make impacts as a team, not always as an individual. But this is always available to you. Back to you, Drew.
Thank you, Steve. And I think we're going to start our geographic area update, beginning with Oklahoma and North Texas.
All right, good evening, everybody. Some big news for Oklahoma and North Texas. First, starting off on the slide, we had 2 recent hires. Brandon Durden is a 13-year active duty Navy veteran. He's been stationed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for a while now, and he decided to go for the top. He said, you know what, I want admin, applied for it, nailed the interview, and has been aggressively attacking the responsibilities. So we're glad to have him on board, but also accompanying him this month is Andrea Shaw. She recently deployed to Operation Hey Abbott, and did a little bit of logs work out there. Loved it so much that she came back, asked about logs in the blue skies, went back, deployed again in logs, and then was subsequently interviewed and hired as well. So congratulations to those 2. Welcome aboard. But for current initiatives within the Oklahoma North Texas vaccine operations, we're running our 2nd vaccine operation in Tarrant County. This one's a drive-through. That makes us roughly right at about 2.5 months supporting COVID operations in Tarrant County. We also have a 2nd potential operation in Hays County, which is down there in San Marcos, Texas, just north of San Antonio. But aside from the operational stuff, we are working on RCS development with an RCS workshop kicking off on 1 May. This will open up to the South Branch here coming probably next week. So keep an eye out for that one. And then aside from that, just developing functional teams, outreach, and then the occasional neighbors helping neighbors opportunity. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Dennis. Rolling east, Louisiana and Arkansas.
All right. Hello, folks. So a couple updates from us. We want to welcome Jim Orsini. He is going to be our new Arkansas Wellness Lead. So he has been a part of TR since 2017, and he has an exemplary Navy background and several decades of human services, primarily and working in dentistry, and he has a proven record of putting gray shirts first, and that's definitely where his heart is, and we are incredibly excited for him to join our wellness team. So congrats to Jim. Great, super excited to have him come on board. Some of the initiatives that we've been working on in Louisiana and Arkansas has been working with Lisa and the rest of the training team to build out and develop our 2021 training plan. Super excited to see that come to fruition, and we've been grateful for our new training lead, Nick Lohman, who has joined us to help us develop that. We have also been working to continue our outreach with the emergency managers, specifically in the Gulf Coast area of Louisiana, to build our relationships and to brief them on our capabilities to kind of preemptively get ready for our hurricane season. We're also continuing to work out our metro team development, primarily in the Baton Rouge, New Orleans area, and we're super excited with all of the great work everyone's been doing in that area. And throughout the whole geo area, we are continuing to push for deployability. So we've had a lot of great folks that have been joining TR, and we are really working hard with our membership and our comms folks to get those people deployable and to get them more active. So continuing engagement from all of our leaders, and grateful for everyone, that all the great work everyone's been putting into all of these efforts. And that's it for me. So back to you.
Thank you, Evan. Over to New Mexico.
Hi, everyone. Super excited to welcome Christian Buckingham on board as the El Paso Las Cruces Field Operations Coordinator, and Angel Ramirez is our new Midland Odessa Administrator. So excited to have a new leader to help us, kind of continue the momentum we had from the vaccine op out there. Coming up, we completed a mission planning seminar, part one of a training opportunity that we want to follow on in future months with New Mexico and West Texas leaders to refine our practice for mission planning. And we're also hopefully going to be offering a chainsaw training in Glorieta, estimated May 8th. And the El Paso vaccine operation is ongoing. It was extended for the month of April. So current demobilization date is April 30th. And that's it for New Mexico, West Texas.
Thank you, Amanda. Down south. What's going on, South Texas?
Thanks. I'm going to kick it off with Dawn, who's going to tell us about Op Mighty Muck and what they did over there.
Hey, howdy from Houston. Giving you the quick down and dirty on Mighty Muck. There was a hard charging push to grab 5 houses and homeowner information from crisis cleanup. And then that turned into a quick assessment and connection with homeowners, 2 of which were severely compromised health-wise and also uninsured. So what resulted from that was a coordinated effort, and Jess Gutierrez of Rebuild was huge as a partner in that to support the effort, and 2 weekends of lots and lots of heavy, hard work to put those homeowners in a better situation in Houston on the heels of catastrophic damage to those homes from frozen and busted pipes. So back in their homes, and positive effort, positive outcome, some lessons learned, one of which was Houston is gonna go hard. So look out, South Texas, here we come.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate that. As far as for the rest of South Texas, I'm excited to kind of dive in the next kind of 30, 60, 90, working on that plan, but it's going to be meeting, training, and then fighting these hurricanes as they come in. So I'm working on meeting all of my volunteer leaders, all 41 of you. Huge shout out to everyone who has done a great job of reaching out and kind of getting me up to speed as to what you guys have been doing in the South Texas area, and for Bob Stevenson, who will be stepping down from his admin role and has been graciously waiting for me to step into this role so he could do that. So we really appreciate all the work that everyone has done. We've got a couple training opportunities to do SAW training in the north part of South Texas. So look out for some information as we develop that plan over the next few days here, and really excited just to step into all this, guys. Thanks much, and I'll pass it back to Drew and Amanda.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Down into Florida.
Good evening. This is Renee. I'm actually covering for Brittany this evening. So if you can give me the next slide, please.
I see Florida on my screen.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for giving me the slide because I'm kind of winging it for Brittany this evening. So we have current ops ongoings in Nassau County and St. Lucie County. Both of those are wraparound services for COVID vaccine. And we'd like to take the opportunity actually to welcome several new leaders. Ruth Osborne, who is actually going to be on the branch staff, but will be covering Florida for finance. Glenn Melvin, who we just welcomed in the last week to Jacksonville membership as part of our initiative actually to try to get a membership lead in all of our metro areas this year. So Glenn is the first of those, and so we're super excited for that initiative and to see that roll out through the rest of the state. We also have welcomed Roy Lombard to Melbourne membership. And so we're enthused to have those folks on board with us. One of our major initiatives for this year, in addition to the membership rollout in all of our metros, was to select 2 pilot metros, one in the north and one in the south. And so we're at about an 80% solution right now on Jacksonville as our North Florida pilot. So we're looking forward to getting them fully staffed out probably within the next month or so. And seeing what that full team actually brings to bear in Florida. So we're super, super excited about that. We've got a couple of upcoming events. We have the DMOB of the Volusia Op this Friday, actually, and so we're having a little bit of a festivity over there, sponsored specifically by Rock Lens and by Hank Lunsford, who have been our stalwarts actually over there as the TFLs sort of rotating in and out over the past 90 days. So also a big thank you to Jude Panetta. Jude is our state logs person. He's the logs lead. He also serves as my deputy area admin. And so he's been involved in a lot of stuff. And really I couldn't do it without having him there as a backstop. So big thanks to Jude. Jude, if you're out there in the audience, I know I tell you, but just wanted to make it public. So we're openly advertising right now for comms, field ops, and our North Florida admin position, and we'll be excited to get those filled as well. So lots going on. We're excited in Florida, getting ready now for hurricane season, and looking forward to see what else comes our way. Thank you. Back over to you, Drew.
Thank you, ma'am. We will kick it down to Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi.
Thanks, Drew. Hey, everybody. Good to see everybody on the call tonight. So this is not updated, so I'm going to read. I thought it's updated on my side, so I'm going to read off of mine. So sorry about that. So so I want to first say thanks to everybody that came out, all the gray shirts that came out to Operation Freedom Bridge, and also our Calhoun County, Alabama recon. We have made great relationships there in Alabama with that team. So, and it looks like our team is building there with leaders as well because of that. So thanks to everybody for that. And we'll go on to the completed ops there. So Freedom Bridge is completed in Selma, and we talked a little bit about that earlier. A very significant operation, in that area, and we were able to really assist there. And maybe we're looking at assisting them further on down the road with more recovery. So good things happening there. And then the vaccine support op that we had in Mobile County, Alabama, has wrapped up, and we're currently supporting 3 sites in Georgia, and we're looking at an on-site support in Hall County, Georgia, this coming week. So if anybody's available there, please sign up for the operation. That's Moses. He says hi. So we've got sit and sips on the boards there. Upcoming initiatives, we have more vaccine support, operations, that recovery operation I was talking about in Calhoun County, and then always looking for new leaders. So thanks, everybody. I'm on mute now, so you can't hear Moses anymore.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. Kentucky, Tennessee.
Hello from the great states of Kentucky and Tennessee. We've been busy, as this slide indicates. We have conducted 3 core operations since the first of the year, with Operation Highland Quick Cut, Operation Highland Thaw, and Operation Iron Mountain. We also have completed an extended recon, if you will, for a FEMA site in Memphis. More to come. Hopefully we can get plugged in. Tennessee and Kentucky, if you guys don't know, have basically been locked out of the COVID-19 vaccination distribution due to the states and them not wanting to utilize volunteers to do that. So we're looking at to see if any operation or any opportunity for us to be able to plug into that initiative here. One of the things I'm really proud about with this team is that all of these new leaders that we have welcomed, I am really excited at how rapidly our team is growing and how quick these folks are getting plugged in and engaged. Their names are there on the slide. I'm not going to call them out individually because I don't want to embarrass anybody, but also would like to call out that we are welcoming back one of our former state admins, Wes Floyd, who will be the Geo area admin for Tennessee and Kentucky. So look for him to get plugged in here in the next few weeks as well. Some of our upcoming initiatives, we actually we did a recon in Overton County, Tennessee for some flooding that occurred within the last few weeks. There are 9 homes and we're looking at plugging in there as a long-term recovery project on weekends. And I would also like to give a shout out to Walden Smith, who is our Geo area membership lead. Walden has partnered with the Kentucky VOAD, specifically UMCOR, Samaritan's Purse, and other volunteers to actually clean up the crisis cleanup leads that are still pending from Operation Iron Mountain in Kentucky. And what they're doing is they're calling these homeowners and getting information to see if these homeowners still need help. And he's leading this effort. This was driven completely by him being plugged in for remote support with crisis cleanup. So very happy to have a volunteer in there who finds a way to get shit done and give assistance to those homeowners. So again, looking for those long-term recovery projects. We're also continuing to grow our leadership team. We are looking for a geo-level comms person, as well as some help in mobilization. And we're looking at getting all of our leaders, whether they're brand new leaders or not so brand new leaders, everybody's going to go through new leader onboarding again so that we stay up on the latest information. I'm going to go through it too. Maybe you guys should too, just to stay on board with all of the upcoming information, all the changes that are happening in the organization as we are rapidly growing. So take a look at all those pictures. We were super excited these are all from Operation Iron Mountain. We're super excited to partner with our Carhartt partners there in Kentucky. We couldn't have done all of that awesome work without them. And thanks, guys. See you next time.
Thank you, Kate. And apologies to the Carolinas team. We seem to have skipped over your slides. So we're going to back up real quick. 2-1, Chrissy. Is this
I was all ready to go, and I was like, I don't know what it's going to be my turn. It was kind of exciting and anxiety provoking. So similarly to last month, I'm going to kind of have other people talk about stuff. I think it's good to hear from leaders like you versus me. So round 2. So for completed initiatives, we do have the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Public Health Vaccination Support, which rolled up. That was supposed to be assigned to Mike or Jack, but apparently I made a typo, and that's not there. So, Mike, are you on, or Jack? Okay, yes, neither one of them are here. So we wrapped that up.
This is George. I'm the deputy.
Hey, George.
Admin for the Charlotte Metro, and I got some notes here from Brian because he couldn't make the call. So that actually ran from January 18th to March 31st. It was a total of 63 days for the op period. 56 total gray shirts were involved, and it was Monday through Saturday vaccinations, and we were running anywhere between 1 and 3 sites.
Awesome. Thanks, George, for the update. Okay, so back up in the Shado from Hurricane Florence recovery with Core Ops training. Mikey.
Yeah, thank you. So as said, so we've been conducting in Craven County, North Carolina, which is down on the coast. It's a pretty unsupported area. They're still recovering from Hurricane Florence. The county's actually set up a recovery office, which through the support and work of Sherry Porterfield, we've developed a pretty good working relationship. We've had 2 ops now getting out, and basically these are homes. Sometimes folks are still living in them, sometimes they've been displaced, but this is going all the way back to Hurricane Florence, which is, if you need a history lesson, takes you back to 2018. These are folks that have slipped through the cracks, and the county doesn't have the money, but they are about putting forth the effort, and we've used it as an opportunity to get out there and help our neighbors. It's also been a great training opportunity coming out of COVID for us. One of the big things we're pointing out here is we were actually able to conduct the first, if I am correct, hybrid core ops training. So we were able to do the first part online, and then we were able to get out in the field, since these are normally weekend type ops, and get the people who did the training online to get the field portion. So just kind of flexing and flowing in the COVID times, but it's been really good. And we're planning on, even though these are completed, the initiative is going to continue. We're going to help to get out there. The Craven County estimates that there's over 300 families still who have had no support or help coming out of Hurricane Florence. So even though we're getting ready to go into a new hurricane season, there's definitely people out there that need our help, and we're looking for them. So we're coming. And that's what I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Mikey. And for those of you who have not met Mikey, Mikey Deal, he is the new Eastern Carolinas area administrator. So he is new to that role. He is on the welcome new leader slide, but we're throwing him right into it. Those are all wonderful things that we've been doing. Personally, for me, this is something I'm super excited. And Amy, tell us about the Sit and Sip yearly calendar.
So we just did a calendar for the entire year, and it's twice a month for the Carolinas, and the way it's set up is our different leaders will host different sit and sips, and it's all assigned, so it's a fairly painless process to hold a sit and sip now, I hope, except for EMS.
Yes. So I'm very excited about that. So if you guys are looking for something to do, please pop on over, take a look and roll call between us, and there's a ton of stuff in for citizens. Okay, so current initiatives. Sherry, can you tell us a little bit about the Onslow County VaxStop and what's going on over there?
Yes, ma'am. We've been going on since January, so we're in 4 months now. We've done over 20,000 vaccines. The credit goes to all the gray shirts who keep coming back week after week to show up with positive attitudes. We're constantly getting comments from the county staff, the emergency managers, and we even recently got a letter of thank you from a mayor of a town who came through. And I'm most proud of the development that we have made with the relationship with the county here in an area where we are frequently hit by hurricanes. And we have shown them who TR is and what we can do, and they know that they can count on us in the upcoming hurricane season.
Great work. Claudia, Fayetteville.
Hello, party people. It's Taco Tuesday. Hope it's a great one for you all. So the Fayetteville vaccine operation, we started in January, and it's run phenomenally. We've supported about an average of 1,300 vaccines per day, and all that done with just about 20 gray shirts throughout the entire time. And a huge highlight to one of our volunteers, Wendy Zabrowski, who's volunteered for 22 days, not in the same go, but she's been over there 22 times. We've built such an amazing relationship through Mark Baker and other volunteer leaders, including our TFLs, include Becky, Bree, Dina, and a couple other folks. A request for assistance to up our support in vaccine medical providers. So they're asking us if we can distribute vaccines. So that's coming through the pipelines, and we're just really super proud that we've shown face in being reliable. Thanks, team.
Thanks, Claudia and the Fayetteville team. All right, upcoming initiatives. Claudia just mentioned that they're looking for us to increase that support. So that RFA will be coming down the pipeline. It has not been submitted yet. So for all those who have to look at the RFA tracker, speaking to the staff, it's okay. They're not there yet. They're coming. And then Brian's not here. George, are you going to talk about the CMEMO various requests, or would that be Mike or Jack?
Actually, I'll be happy to speak to that one. This is Jack. Charlotte-Mecklenburg Emergency Management Operation is something that we've been very pleased to forge a very, very close relationship with. In the Carolinas, we're working on establishing close relationships with all emergency managers. Early January last year, when COVID kicked up, we were invited in to provide emergency operations support, and based on that, we forged a very close relationship from that point on. At this point, we actually have a designated seat anytime the Emergency Operations Center in Charlotte-Mecklenburg is activated. Right now, we're working on 3 potential developing ones. They're always going close together, and they're performing a model for what we're doing in the rest of the Carolinas. In terms of other current initiatives, if I can say, Chrissy, we've also got, although it's listed as a Neighbors Helping Neighbors, since November, we've been supporting the Loaves and Fishes food distribution, which is run from November through the end of April this year, which was actually directed to us by Charlotte-Mecklenburg Emergency Management. Update on us.
Thanks, Jack. Yeah, I took down some of the Neighbors Helping Neighbors stuff this time just because we had so many new leaders coming in. There's still a lot of great work happening in the Carolinas, but I only had one slide, I think. So a couple of things moving forward. Some of our hiring priorities are really to nail down the Carolinas log lead, Carolinas training lead, Carolinas wellness lead. So if you have interest in those, please apply through Greenhouse. Those are definitely our hiring priorities right now. And then I'd like to welcome some of our new leaders that we've been able to hire over the last month. Again, for those of you who don't know Jordan Moss, I don't know if you've been in TR for more than 5 minutes, but most people do know who Jordan Moss is. He's a great addition to our field ops team. He's deployed a ton. He's been training classes all summer long, and his lovely wife, Megan Moss, happens to be the Carolinas Comms lead. So we're very happy to have Jordan on our team. Also, we do have a deputy logs person. So Robin Waitley, she's been like a one-woman show down in the Randolph County Neighbors Helping Neighbors, and she is going to step up and be the Carolinas deputy logs person. So we're very excited to have her on board. You guys met Mikey Deal at the beginning. He's our Eastern Carolinas area admin. We're very excited to fill that spot. And also Sharon Sinclair, who's going to be the Eastern Carolinas membership lead. So some of the big priorities that we had, we're filling the Eastern area roles, and those have been checked off. So I'm very, very excited and very proud of my team. Now, on a sad note, some of our leaders are moving. They're all moving. So Mike Ford, who's our Asheville area admin, he's been doing a really kick-ass job out there, doing some Neighbors Helping Neighbors stuff and really trying to build the gray shirts there. He's moving to Tennessee. So Kate, he's coming your way toward the Nashville area. Scoop him up if you can. Tara Hurst, she's one of the planners from Fayetteville. She's moving to Colorado. Good luck in the Midwest. Ted Boone is moving to Florida. And Angela Barnett Cole is moving to Alaska. So goodbye to everybody. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for your leadership, and we will miss you greatly. Back to you, Drew.
Thank you, Carolinas. I believe that wraps up our geographic area update. We will now shift gears and dive into our functional areas, beginning with field ops and a core operations update.
Hi, my name's Oscar, and basically what you heard earlier was the stories of gray shirts going over a bridge to help people to do work. That's what we do. Tornado comes our way, knocks down trees. It's our sawyers, our swampers, other general responders who come in and have been helping them in Alabama, in Georgia, and very similarly in Holland, Texas, as they recovered from a very unusual winter storm. Next slide, please. The other side of that coin, you kind of heard mentioned also, is vaccination support operations. Basically, this is the counterattack against COVID. And as you can see, there are at any given time up to 10, count 10, operations where gray shirts are making it possible for people to push back against the COVID-19 virus. Not only that, there's some planning going on and some standalone operations in conjunction with the FEMA initiative, and the great Navajo Nation Medical and Vaccination Ops continues to do great things for the Navajo Nation. That's all I have. Thank you, Drew.
Thank you, Oscar. Over to planning team.
All right, I'm very excited to first say our usual is we are always open for business. So if you are a planner, you know what that means. If you want to be a planner, we're interested in you. But what I'm very excited about is introducing Ms. Sherry Porterfield. She has stepped up into the arena. We have had some really good talks over the last couple weeks, and she is going to be moving up into one of the branch level planning positions. So you will be seeing her float around, and at this point, I am going to hand it off to her. Sherry, the floor is yours. Also, the font is bigger on my screen. Sorry.
Thank you, Steve. The planning team, we're preparing for hurricane season. We're looking forward to building a strong team. We have Emma, who I don't believe on the call, who is working on task books for everybody, so everybody can get all trained up in everything and anything they want to do. We have Bob leading the weather team and the situation unit, and they're going to be very involved in the planning process and predicting our responses. We're going to try to be going from Watchtower, the Watchtower channel to OPORD, and we're working that along with SOPs and guidelines so that all planners are on the same page and have the same training. And we're going to work together, as we proved last month, across states as one team in the branch to do planning. If another state needs help, we have planners in another state that are trained up as well that can help. There is an updated COVID Ops manual, and the link is on the slide that Mr. Steve prepared. And we do have our South Branch Planners meeting the second Monday every month for anybody who wants to attend. And back to you, Steve.
No, I think Sherry, you wrapped it up. I put two little things there. I just want to touch on the buzzwords for the month and the planning within the planning team. And that's going to be relevant and actionable. And those are the two things that sum up everything we look for as we look to execute the planning process and get out there and do good things. Thank y'all. And I think we're moving on to, is that field ops again?
Yes, it is.
And to complement the planning team, we have the field ops team. Field ops team, the purpose of this team is to develop and track, to develop you as a gray shirt in your skill sets, to develop you especially in the command and general staff skill sets. To help us do that, we have our fearless leader, our operations support manager, Tracy Rinkin, and we have three people, Jose, Jeff, and brand new, kind of underline him, Ed Strauss, roughly working in these states. To help develop, we've had training in March. Scuba Steve showed us about the National Tech Kit. And in April, we're beginning a series on EMS for field leaders. Technology is a thing, and it's a thing with Team Rubicon and the field leadership. So invite you to be part of this. Part 1 will be in April, part 2 in May. Next slide, please. Looking at the future, you should see some tabletop exercises coming your way. That's the world of training, but also the world of participating in these is ours. There's going to be a changeover from Palantir to Field Services, which is the EMS version of Palantir. Very similar concepts, a new platform. And as you've heard also mentioned, right now it's hurricane preseason. So it's time to get ready, time to get you ready, time to get your family, your team ready. And as part of that, we'll have our field operations call next month on Wednesday, 5 May. Thank you so much. On to logistics.
The logistics team was left speechless by the field ops team.
Well, of course. I mean, who can follow up after Oscar? So, good evening, everyone. It's been a pretty busy, the last few months. We're working on the 2021 inventories. Thanks for all the log leaders that got their inventories in earlier in the month. Some important dates for logs is tomorrow we have our branch logistics meeting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain for the New Mexico people. We have all of our 213s are going to be due in 3 days, and that is to make sure all of our trailers are up to date and ready to go for the incoming storm season. And that is about it.
I hate to say it, but log sounds easy. Thank you, Anthony. Over to our training team.
Good evening, everybody. We have a lot going on in training. We have our trainers, so if anybody's interested in being an instructor, go on to roll call, sign up. You will automatically go to a wait list, but once the rosters are set, they will take you off that wait list. We are continuing our virtual courses. We have those scheduled throughout September. We are also, big news, we are also starting in-person Sawyer training. The new COVID guide kind of gave us an open for that, so we are looking at planning Sawyer training. Hope that makes everybody happy. I know it does me. And we are also starting a campaign for hybrid core ops on operations, as Mike talked about earlier. We tried it out first in North Carolina, and I'm looking forward to trying it out in future operations. And back to you, Drew.
Thank you, Lisa. Membership.
Good evening, Derek Berg here for membership, and along with Jen and Laura, we just want to make sure that y'all are always aware that we are here to help and support all our membership leaders, which there's 24 of currently onboarded, and all you admins that are filling in that membership role. We're here to support you. And in regards to those new leaders, we do have 3 new leaders that have been onboarded in the last month. We have Glenn Melvin in Jacksonville, Sharon Sinclair in Eastern Carolinas, and Caitlin Beagleman in West Tennessee. Welcome them if you have not already, and we look forward to all that they are going to do. As a branch functional area, we are looking to build out our toolkits for our members, building out the SharePoint and getting the tools in the hands to make that processes easier. So you can look forward to that. We are here for you, and my little trivia for the night, as the South Branch as a total all time has done 14,414 outreaches to individual people, initial outreaches to individual people all time. So good job.
That's a whole lot of conversation happening, and all of it awesome, because every one of those leads to more gray shirts in the field. So keep it up, guys. I love it. Let's keep rolling into our tech team.
And good evening, folks. I'm Jim Resner. I've been newly appointed as a South Branch Technology Lead. Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to support the branch in this capacity. My full-time job, I'm a senior program manager with HP, and I manage our global U.S. military and Department of Defense customers. So I'm hoping to bring that experience and help leverage it to supporting the South Branch in the technology arena. I'm a former 11B, don't hold that against me. South Branch tech kits are now going to be managed by logistics rather than technology. This is to utilize existing inventory and procurement procedures and align with the other branches in the NOC. The old territory EMS teams have been deprecated. If you no longer have access to territory-based EMS views, dashboards, or charts, please reach out to the original creator to reshare to the branch EMS teams. Old territory, SC territory email distribution groups have also been deprecated. Please use the South Branch-based email distributors from here on. We also want to welcome David White as the Carolinas Technology Deputy. And at this point, I'm going to hand it over to the person who either wisely or foolishly decided to bring me into this role, Amanda, to cover some of the more in-depth technology updates over in the gray area. Amanda?
Thanks, Jim. EMS updates, they moved the registration radius field. It used to be on the general tab, and then they moved it to like an operational tab, and they've moved it back. So for anybody that was struggling with updating that field because they couldn't find it, you were not crazy. It was missing, and now it's back. They also fixed a bug with DocuSign. There was a time period in the last month where anybody that signed a leader agreement, it was not updating their profile. So we were struggling with that to try and get people provisioned. That has been fixed and backdated. So anybody that had signed a leader agreement in that downtime should be updated correctly. Let us know if you see any issues with that. Proofpoint. So that was a little bit of a roller coaster in the past week. Team Rubicon had added a system to email that automatically quarantined anything that it deemed as a suspect email, like maybe like a phishing attempt or spam. And unfortunately, it was also quarantining many valid and legitimate emails. So as of today, TR has turned this off. So please definitely check your spam folders to make sure that there's no real emails that were routed incorrectly into spam. So that you don't miss any legitimate traffic. And SharePoint Teams updates. So I'm super excited to announce that in South Branch SharePoint, we now have a page called New Leader Resources. It's in the left navigation menu, and it's also available as a button on the South Branch homepage. And this is an awesome walkthrough in very clear, plain English from a kind of an onboarding standpoint, what all new leaders should be completing. So it's got instructions for setting up Outlook on both Android and iPhone, instructions for creating a signature block. It's a link to the PEX request form, links to a couple of Cornerstone on-demand courses that new leaders will do, specifically leader orientation and harassment prevention for volunteer leaders. And then it also lists all of the general and functional onboardings, and these are exported directly from EMS. So I'm super excited about this because it doesn't take a human being to continuously update it. Anytime National submits a new onboarding session into EMS, it will automatically be available on this page in an easy to read format with the link to register provided right there. So check it out. It's awesome. And that's it on technology updates. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda and Jim. Down into the joy of wellness.
Wellness is a joy. So I want to start off by giving everyone a quick plug that even though the COVID numbers are going down, we are still seeing spikes in depression and anxiety and suicidality across the nation, not just within TR, but across mental health boards. So if you know somebody who is struggling right now, we have got our email address and the suicide prevention lifeline on here. I encourage everyone to screenshot that and keep it as a resource. One of the things that we're going to be working on is on social media. There's a lot of informal buddy checks going on, and we would love for people to know that these resources are here, and these are the ones that we would really love people to be utilizing. And so I've got a great team. We would all love to be standing by and helping people talk things out and just be a good listening ear. So on that note, we've got some new team members. Jim was already introduced by Evan. We're excited to have him on the team. And then we're welcoming 2 people from other areas over to wellness. We've got Amy Anderson, who is joining us and who is going to be such a great asset to the team. If you haven't met her, she was already in leadership here in Texas. And then Kirk McLaughlin, we dragged him kicking and screaming back. He tried to retire on us when he moved to Tennessee, and now he is coming back into the wellness role. So we're so excited to have them on the team. We are also really doing a great job with a resource guide that I'm hoping we can introduce to everyone here soon. I want to give a special shout out to Roy. He has put in some serious man hours on that, and it looks incredible. Him and Amy have both done a great job of filling in where are some of the resources that our gray shirts can be going to in their metro areas. We will still be working on workshops. We had a great burnout one that happened just about 2 weeks ago. We're trying to figure out how to incorporate physical fitness as we slowly start to tinker with the idea of in-person events, hopefully in Q3. So we're kind of getting prepped for that. And we are still working the care packages and cards and all of those different things. So if you know someone who's struggling, reach out to us. And I think that's it.
Thank you, Pri. I feel better already, but I still want to know when my next chainsaw yoga class is. So get that updated for us, please.
Can you please threaten here? Thank you.
I absolutely can, but he's scary and has chainsaws, so I don't know how effective that'll be. Communications.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Just a couple of things from the comm side. All of our events do have Marcom approved social graphics. If you're going to put something on social media, please reach out to myself or one of our comms leaders to get that for you, or ask us to get it, prep it for you, and then we'll have it to you. As always, we're wanting some reflections. Let's do some story yelling. Get our gray shirts getting their stories out there. The link is hyperlinked where it says reflections wanted. So when this goes into the archive, you guys can go in there, click on that, and pass that link out. Our Facebook group consolidation is complete. As you all can see, our Facebook groups align with our geographic areas. Within the next week or so, our territory branch page, territory to branch page consolidation should be happening. So keep your fingers crossed that goes pretty smoothly. And we'll let everybody know when that's getting ready to happen. Next slide, please. And Cinebody. So Cinebody is something that our Marcom team came up with, where you can either download it on out of the Apple Play Store or whatever the hell that's called, and or download or go to the website there, the link that's there, enter the project code, sign up, and you can do short videos, and it's consolidated at Marcom's for each one of the different pieces. What's that? Gotcha. So we got the recon one. So if you're out there on a recon team, when you're out in the field, do a self-reflection after you come back from an op. Why do we serve? For all of us volunteer leaders, we got one there, so we can use it for getting more volunteer leaders in, and then rebuild, use that information, and then they'll consolidate it, and we got some material to use to help with everything that we do. That's all I've got. Back to you, Drew.
Thank you, sir. And everybody, I can't emphasize enough how invaluable those little selfie documents are. Marcom's team loves them. We love them. You guys are all doing awesome things out there. The world should know about it so more people can come out and join us tomorrow. Let us dive over to our mobilization team.
Good evening. This is Doug Skillman. So we just reached 28% of the year chronologically. And as you can see on that first bullet, we've done 1,409 deployments in South Branch this year, which is 36% compared to last year total. So we're ahead there. We've had 739 unique gray shirt deployments, and we're 41% of last year. So we're quickly approaching what we managed to do half of last year, and we're just barely into second quarter. I need to make a big, huge reminder. Please, in your conversations, do not encourage self-deployment. That creates a lot of work on the back end for mobilization and others. So again, do not encourage self-deployment. And one more reminder about those people that are not receiving CTAs. Ask your people in your chain of command or in your groups to ensure that they've resubscribed to their emails. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. And definitely that last point is huge. We had a ton of folks get accidentally unsubscribed. Vital that they get those because if we're going to totally blow last year's numbers out of the water, which I know is all of our goal, we need everybody to get the call to action so that they can go action. Long missed, but finally here. It's time for our own Statler and Waldorf Team Finance. John, you're muted.
Okay, John DeToma, the famous unmute me guy. South Branch Finance Lead. We've had some great success in bringing in some new people. A couple of weeks ago, we brought in Debbie Luttrell. She's not new to TR. She's been around for in the field ops side for since 2012, and she's currently being deployed to Memphis. I guess she wanted to get her shirt dirty. It's been a while since she's been out there, so she's going to do some stuff. I hope she brought her laptop so we can do some finance work while she's out there. But also on board is Tyrone Burdine. He just came on board actually today, I believe. Is from the Texas area. I think he's from Spring, Texas. He's going to be one of our finance coordinators. And Ruth Osborne, who I had the pleasure of interviewing about 10 days ago. She's going to be the finance coordinator there in Florida. So we are happy to have some new depth. We're still screening for more people that want to be interested in helping some people work on some finance issues. Farewell. Unfortunately, we're very sorry to say goodbye to Ashley Woodrow. She has been the finance lead for the Southeast area territory for more than a year. And then she's also had some finance, deputy finance work before that for about another year. So we're going to miss Dr. Woodrow very much. She's back in Pennsylvania. She's working on her new assignment in the medical field, and we want to wish her very, very much success. As you know, Team Rubicon is now completely out of Expensify. For those of you that have moaned and groaned about Expensify, you got your wish. It is no longer a TR deal. So now we've got to deal with Concur. So we're going to start some more Concur classes because starting on March 1st, all of the TR staff, or not staff, but gray shirts will be under Concur. We will not have any separate Concur policies for leadership personnel versus non-leadership. Everybody will be under Concur. So we're going to start some more classes for the new folks. They usually last about 50 minutes to an hour. We go over the actual startup an account all the way through how to prepare an expense a receipt or process an expense for reimbursement, and how to do mileage maps so that you can get recovery reimbursement amounts for POV mileage while deployed after you deploy on an operation. So keep in contact with Roll Call Calendar for upcoming events. We will push them out. We will be contacting comms just like Jeremy suggested to help have those folks help us push those out to different types of applications, whether it be Facebook or whoever, to publish when and where, or virtually what time and what dates the training classes will occur. We were kind of disappointed for the rollout and for the PEX card holders. We held, I think, at least 11 different training events, but the participation, although we had quite a few people, the attendance was quite a bit less than what we anticipated. So we're still encouraging people that have PEX cards to join in on those classes as well. So I ask that everybody try to get more knowledge on the Concur, because that is the system that we will be using. Other than that, we're always available to help everybody that's got questions. Give us a call and we'll surely try to answer your questions on anything relating to finance. Appreciate everybody's cooperation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John, and thanks to everybody for jumping into the finance team. They've been screaming for help, and they definitely need it because we've been running them ragged, funding all these op events around the branch that we've been responding to all the disasters. So love seeing the participation and jumping in there. All right, I will pass it over to Mr. Steve Fleming for our monthly Give 'em One.
Very excited, and it was a whole unique circumstance around this. So as some of you may know, I ended up stepping out for military duty at the same time as this storm system came. And the storm was larger and more intense than what any of us down here in the South are used to or could have expected. And Bob, as you can see on the screen, he really kind of cut his teeth there. And then when I came back, we had a great talk about lessons learned from that and what kind of planning insight and what kind of goals he had for his team. And shortly after that, we got an opportunity to kind of test some of those tweaks and changes that what we're going to call the situation unit team. And when the storm system cut across the South Branch that delivered 22 tornadoes, Bob, in the absence of some planning bandwidth there, stepped up and helped facilitate not one, but eventually two separate mission planning teams, as well as really kind of guiding the what's going to be the future foundation of the situation unit team and how we're going to adapt that into the future of South Branch planning and really kind of lead the way in the planning sections across the TR organization that the rest will follow and build off of. So Bob, I want to thank you and congratulate you and thank you for your leadership within the planning team. If you can come off mute and just whatever you want to say, or you can virtually throw something at me. I know that you don't like attention, but tough luck, man. You got it.
Well, thank you very much. I'm really flattered about all of this. Listen, this doesn't come off without a little help from your friends, and as the song says. And the truth is, the rest of the situation unit, they really worked really, really hard, and they did a heck of a job. And the other planners, I mean, there were other planners that stepped up and said, sent me messages as, what can I do to help? It's always a team, and but I'm really flattered. So, really my thanks goes out to all of you guys for helping me get here. Thanks.
With that, if everyone can do me a favor and come off mute, give you just a second. And in our classic TR tradition, if you don't know, come off mute. We're all going to give them one. So with that, Bob, thank you. Give them one.
Yes, Bob. Yay, Bob.
Drew, back to you, good sir.
You've opened the genie bottle by asking everyone to unmute. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Bob. Obviously, already been a crazy year, and we know it's just getting crazier. So appreciate the work and the foundational efforts you've driven on there. Just some upcoming announcements, some teases to kind of get everybody's juices flowing as we head into the next couple of months here. Ardent Sentinel, our quick response function, is slated to go live soon as we get overall approval. So stand by for some updates from your field ops and mission planners around how we're going to get that executed. The return of in-person training, you heard it from Lisa. We know we got a lot of itchy saw trigger fingers out there, but looking to get that stuff hot and heavy soon. And then last but not least, TRLC 2021 planning has kicked off, looking at another virtual conference coming in summer. So stand by for updates on that as we get closer. Those are all the big things coming down the pipe. We will now hand it over to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jim Flory, for some closing thoughts.
So number one, I want to thank everybody. I think at one point we had 107 people. I'm trying to pull it up. My internet's slow. We're at 90 right now, but we were at 107 at one point. So I appreciate everybody coming on tonight, giving us your time, listening, participating as we go forward. More and more, we want to draw you guys, the volunteer leaders, into this.
So your voice can be heard, your face can be seen, and we can know what you're thinking. So my job now is kind of shifted. I don't run the Southeast anymore. I don't get involved as much in operations as I like or used to. John remembers me from being just almost a first-time planning section chief on operations, but the things have changed. But what I can do for you, for the staff, for everyone, is try to make changes that make your job easier, make your lives easier, and make the work we do more productive. So with that, we're trying as much as we can to do things like open up in-person training, which we are starting to do. And we hope to more and more as the nation gets closer to herd immunity, to open up more of that training until finally we can resume whatever normal becomes. The other thing is we can do is open up disaster training camps. Look for different ways we can deploy. We all saw quite a bit of activity around Winter Storm Uri, as Steve talked about. But what do we do to prepare for hurricane season? So if you don't know already, hurricane season's been moved up 15 days. So now we're starting May 15th instead of June 1st. So things like being prepared. How do we incorporate what we've done for the last 3 months, and specifically the 6 weeks after Uri? How do we incorporate those things we learned, the lessons learned from that, incorporate and make ourselves better? So we're working on that. We've got teams working on how to do mission planning better, how to get out faster, how to support you guys as local leaders, the branch leaders, so you guys can be more effective, quicker, get ahead of things. So we're working on that. So as I say most times when I talk to you, is please bear with us, be patient, help us. If we make changes that you don't understand, ask questions. Usually there's a reason, well thought out reason for doing it. We don't always get it right. We're not perfect, but we sure as heck try. And your patience, your understanding, and more importantly, your input is going to help us do that better. So looking forward to, I think we're going to have one more meeting before we get into hurricane season. Hopefully we'll have some more improvements already and ready to go by the time that happens, because Lord only knows what it's going to be like this year. So I appreciate, and I'll speak for the entire staff, we appreciate all 409 leaders that are in the South Branch. All 13 of the staff appreciate your help, your work, because I mean, you could think it's cliche or trite to say it, but we literally could not be here without you guys. And I want to make sure we express to you guys our appreciation. So that's all I've got. Have a good night. And yeah, thank you again.
Thank you, Jim. This has been your April monthly all hands. I'm going to kill the recording. The staff will hang around for a few minutes. So if there's any additional follow-up questions, comments, concerns, we'll be here to share and address. But thanks for being here, everybody. Have a great night and stay safe out there. We'll see you in the field.